Nutria, also known as Coypu, are large, semi-aquatic rodents. They are native to South America. Nutria were brought to the United States in the early 20th century. Their intended purpose was fur farming. However, some nutria escaped captivity. These escapees quickly established themselves in the wild. Today, nutria are considered an invasive species in many parts of the US. They are particularly prevalent along the Gulf and Atlantic coasts. Nutria are also found in the Pacific Northwest. Their presence has significant ecological and economic consequences. Nutria are remarkably adaptable creatures. They thrive in a variety of wetland habitats. These include marshes, swamps, and rivers. Nutria are herbivores. Their diet consists mainly of aquatic plants. Nutria are known for their voracious appetites. An adult nutria can consume up to 25% of its body weight in vegetation daily. This feeding behavior has devastating effects on the delicate balance of wetland ecosystems. Nutria are prolific breeders. Females can produce 2 to 3 litters per year. Each litter can have up to 13 offspring. This rapid reproduction rate contributes to their population explosions and makes controlling their numbers extremely challenging. Nutria populations can quickly overwhelm an area. This leads to severe damage to the native flora and fauna. Nutria's insatiable appetite for aquatic vegetation has devastating consequences for wetland ecosystems. Wetlands are vital habitats. They support a diverse array of plant and animal life. These ecosystems provide essential services. These include water filtration, flood control, and carbon sequestration. Nutria's overgrazing disrupts these delicate balances. When nutria consume large quantities of aquatic plants, they create what are known as eat-outs. Eat-outs are areas of open water. They are devoid of vegetation. These barren patches have cascading effects on the entire ecosystem. Without plants to hold the soil in place, erosion accelerates. This leads to increased sedimentation in waterways. The loss of vegetation also impacts wildlife that depend on these plants for food and shelter. Fish, birds, and other aquatic animals lose their habitats and food sources. This disruption can lead to a decline in biodiversity. It can also threaten the livelihoods of people who rely on healthy wetlands for fishing, hunting, and recreation. The burrowing habits of nutria further exacerbate the damage they inflict on wetlands. Nutria dig extensive burrow systems in the banks of rivers, levees, and other water bodies. These burrows weaken the soil structure. This makes the banks more susceptible to erosion and collapse. Beyond their ecological impact, nutria also pose potential risks to human and animal health. Nutria can carry and transmit a variety of diseases and parasites. These can infect humans, livestock, and pets. One such disease is leptospirosis. Leptospirosis is a bacterial infection that can cause flu-like symptoms, kidney damage, and even death in severe cases. Nutria can also harbor parasites like nematodes and tapeworms. These parasites can infect humans and animals that come into contact with contaminated water or soil. Furthermore, nutria droppings can contaminate water sources. This poses a risk to drinking water supplies and recreational areas. The presence of nutria in urban and suburban areas increases the likelihood of human-wildlife interactions. These interactions can lead to conflicts and increase the risk of disease transmission. Therefore, controlling nutria populations is essential not only for protecting ecosystems, but also for safeguarding public health. Faced with the growing threat of nutria, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, FWS, is promoting a novel approach to population control, encouraging people to eat them. While it may seem unconventional, promoting the consumption of invasive species like nutria has several potential benefits. Firstly, it helps to reduce the nutria population directly. By creating a demand for nutria meat, the FWS hopes to incentivize hunting and trapping. This could help to keep nutria numbers in check. Secondly, it provides an alternative source of protein. Nutria meat is described as lean, mild, and similar in taste to rabbit. It can be prepared in various ways, including grilling, frying, and stewing. Thirdly, promoting nutria consumption could raise awareness about the issue of invasive species. By introducing nutria meat to the public, the FWS aims to educate people about the ecological and economic damage caused by invasive species and encourage them to be part of the solution. Section 5. a culinary approach to conservation lessons from other invasive species. The idea of using cuisine to combat invasive species is not new. In fact, there are several successful examples of edible invasive species that have been incorporated into local cuisines around the world. One such example is the lionfish. Lionfish are native to the Indo-Pacific region and have become a major threat to marine ecosystems in the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea. To combat the lionfish invasion, many countries have launched campaigns to promote lionfish as a food source. Lionfish is a white, flaky fish that is low in fat and high in protein. It can be grilled, baked, fried, or used in ceviche. Another example is the Asian carp. Asian carp were introduced to the United States in the 1970s. They have since spread throughout the Mississippi River Basin, where they outcompete native fish species for food and habitat. To control Asian carp populations, several states have encouraged the commercial fishing and processing of these fish. Asian carp can be processed into various products, including fish fillets, pet food, and fertilizer. These examples demonstrate that culinary approaches can play a role in managing invasive species. Section 6, Nutria, on the Run Public Awareness and Reporting. Public awareness and participation are crucial for the success of any invasive species management program. The FWS recognizes this and has launched several initiatives to engage the public in nutria control efforts. One such initiative is the Eat the Invaders campaign. This campaign aims to raise awareness about the ecological and economic impacts of invasive species like nutria and encourage people to consider them as a food source. The FWS website provides information on how to identify, hunt and prepare nutria, as well as recipes and cooking tips. In addition to promoting consumption, the FWS also encourages the public to report nutria sightings. This information helps wildlife officials track the spread of nutria populations and implement targeted control measures. The public can report nutria sightings through various channels, including online reporting forms, mobile apps, and hotlines. Section 7. The Legislative Frontline, Battling Nutria with Laws and Funding. Recognizing the severity of the nutria problem, lawmakers at both the state and federal levels have taken steps to address the issue. In recent years, several states have passed legislation aimed at controlling nutria populations. These laws include measures such as increasing hunting and trapping permits, extending hunting seasons, and providing financial incentives for nutria removal. For example, in Louisiana, which has been hit particularly hard by nutria, the state government established a bounty program that pays hunters and trappers for each nutria tail they turn in. This program has been successful in reducing nutria numbers and mitigating their impact on coastal wetlands. At the federal level, the FAWS has allocated significant funding for nutria control and research. These funds support a variety of programs, including population monitoring, habitat restoration, and the development of new control methods. The FWS also works closely with state agencies, universities, and other partners to coordinate nutria management efforts across the country. Section 8. A multi-pronged approach, securing our ecosystem's future. The fight against invasive species like nutria requires a multifaceted approach that combines scientific research, public awareness, and effective management strategies. While promoting consumption can play a role in reducing nutria populations and raising awareness about invasive species, it is not a silver bullet solution. Other essential components of a comprehensive nutria management plan include habitat restoration, trapping and hunting, and the development of new control methods. Habitat restoration efforts focus on restoring degraded wetlands to their natural state. This includes removing invasive plants, replanting native vegetation, and improving water quality. Trapping and hunting are effective methods for reducing nutria populations, especially in areas where they are abundant. Finally, researchers are constantly exploring new and innovative methods for controlling nutria. These include developing contraceptives, introducing natural predators, and using biological control agents.